so that's good. Okay, so good evening, everybody, and welcome to TFC Live, Season 2, Episode 27. It's the BP Life Resumes after the US Brexit Strike 1. I don't know why I called it that. I just thought it was fun at the weekend. Evening, Roo. How are we?
Oh, I'm doing very well, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine. So it's a little bit late tonight, guys. Obviously, it's a delayed show and that sort of stuff, obviously, because after the 4th of July celebrations at the start of the week, and the lates to obviously update. Some of the guys obviously have got real-time work to do, so it's just the two of us. We may get somebody to jump in later on, but if not, then it's not in the world. The detail and the content is the same. So, right, so we jump straight into some slides. Probably be a good idea. Interesting updates today. Not necessarily all positive, but not exactly negative either. Right, there we go. Life resumes post-US Brexit celebrations. That was Andrew's little title. So what do we have tonight then? So here we go for the content then. So as we know, the endgame TLC has popped its head up again. We'll talk about that one quickly. The obviously FM target transition has finished. Okay then. It's causing some controversy, particularly between the 113s and the 103s. Skyfire TLC, for those that have seen it, I've done round one myself and quickly posted a video. And obviously there's the Hornet UAV, which has come out, obviously the Skyfire carrier itself, and the UAV targeting circuitry, which is a really interesting special. Then I've put up a couple of builds basically just so you can have a quick look and see what you think. And then we've got a bit of bug fixes and tuning. And that's about it. There's only about 10 slides for tonight, so it may not last all that long, or unless Roo and I start chatting and it might go on forever. So any points you want to bring up in the chat, please feel free to do so, and we'll include them in the show if it's relevant. Should we carry on? Right. So here we go. First one then being the endgame TLC rerun. So remember, then this one gives you the special for the obviously the explosive turret, and that D99S explosive turret is actually quite a decent turret. It's it punches hard, and with that special as well, it has a pretty good effect on many of the attacking ships. And obviously that's price pack 1 for the special, price pack 2 for the turret, and price pack 3 and obviously gives you the oppressor hull, which is a bit, but you know, it's it could be bad. What do you think, Roo?
I would say even if you can't get all the way through until prize pack 3, if you can, do prize pack 1 and 2, because prize pack 1 is handy on a lot of turrets, and as you said, the explosive turret is pretty good as well. So even if you can't get all the way through, if you can, try the first 2 prize packs, because both of those items are actually pretty good tech. Yeah, not bad at all, to be honest.
Oppressor is always a bit of a question mark, isn't it, really? I mean, I'm using a little bit now. I'm using, what am I using? I'm using one oppressor. I'm using a bit of an odd fleet, actually, for attacking bases. So one oppressor, I'm using the Visago's Pride, then I'm using 2 more Prides, and then I'm using the, what's the one that gives the Pride the boost for corrosive? I can't remember. What's that called? No. It's a penetrative hull, but you wouldn't actually want to attack a base with it because it's Survivor, isn't it? Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why they're called Survivor, because it don't survive. you don't want to be attacking a base with it because it's like glass slippers on. But actually, it's the boost that it gives the prides is very nice. So I stick that thing on the outside, and actually makes quite a good spotter. I've set it up like a malice spotter from what we used to do. And obviously with the oppressor, then the boost on that as well, with the building damage. Crew, that seems to work reasonably well. So yeah, but the oppressor is quite good. Obviously it's got its own little every one of them has got buffs, haven't they, and that sort of stuff. So but in all honesty, just keep it away from anything explosive because it just melts. But it's good. So you can get, obviously you can go through that 5 times, and bear that in mind, then obviously you can get, because it says limited, so it means you just one run gives you 1 hull, and then obviously the next run down gives you another hull and that sort of stuff. But it's nice that you get 6 days worth of build tokens. Obviously you can get that, obviously, you know, 5 times that sort of stuff, and obviously the 2.5k in VXP. So good. But as Roo was saying there, then definitely the turret and the special is certainly worth having if you've never done it before. So excellent. Nice to have that one rerun. That's up and running now. Although the release note said the 5th, it didn't start till today, because obviously they delayed the start of the weekly update. Right. So this is just a quick reminder then, the next slide then. So this actually covers the fact that, yeah, the second mission target transitions, the final transition for the FM targets to the world maps completes this week. So this is the end of it, okay. So it said that the targets will not be automatically wiped for the remaining old FM targets. So in other words, basically, if there's an 87 out there still, it'll still pop up. And that's normally what happens. New targets come in, obviously, but for some bizarre reason, when the FM re-kicks in again, it won't be until that one's hit, and then it'll be replaced with a new format. So that's the way it seems to work for some reason. Anyways, but spawning for the older targets has been turned off, so it'll be defeat the older target and then clear them for the world map, as I said, and ignore them because they won't repeat. That's about it. Yep. It's probably a good time to talk about 111s, 113s though, and 103s, isn't it? Do you think?
Actually, yeah. Just before we do that, I've had a couple people hit me up today.
Okay.
With some angst on some of these targets. If you've
88?
not, yeah, the 88. Yeah, if you've not taken the time, go ahead and look on the page, run a search. There are a couple of videos out there where people have posted their builds and they've posted the routes for the new targets. People are doing them with some Punishers. People are doing them with Citadels. There are other options out there. You don't actually have to have the highest fleet to do these things. And so if you're banging your head against a wall, stop, take some time, look at the video, because you may just be doing it in a different attack pattern as to what works. So don't get frustrated and throw the mouse at the window, that kind of stuff. Take the time to look at the videos and see what other people are doing, because I've seen a couple of folks that are out there doing them with lower fleets, and they're actually doing pretty good.
Excellent. Good, yeah. And like I said, the other thing, basically, to be honest, I think is the respawn, obviously, on the 103s versus the 113s and that sort of stuff. Now, the statistics that we were told, obviously, is, go and kill a 103, and then obviously a 113 is likely to pop up. Obviously, it's a 50-50 chance that it did. I mean, basically, what I did, I hit the same two 103s with my icebreakers and that sort of stuff, and I killed 7 of them, and every time a 103 popped up again. Either I'm the most unlucky person ever, or I don't know, the matrix is not maybe 50-50 chance, or maybe I just shouldn't be going to Vegas. I don't know. It's just, I'm not sure.
I've actually found, and not because it was planned, but I was actually found, I've actually found that the later it is that I do my FM, the less I have to compete with people that are looking for the 113s. And I have not, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, had any issues finding them. Now, I know people were talking about hitting, as you said, multiples and not having them spawn, but maybe it's just because I do it later and there's less people competing for them, but I've actually found it's been a lot easier to do it like Sunday night, Monday night, as opposed to getting it done first thing.
Oh, right. I got you. Oh, okay. All right. That's another idea, isn't it, to be honest? I tend to go out there and just blat it and get it done on Thursday evening, get it out of the way. So
yeah, I've been doing it in one hit. I've just been doing it later. So I've not yet had to leave my sector. And I've been able to do, for the last 3 weeks, my FM run, both runs with the same single mono fleet in one hit, without actually leaving my sector. So
yeah, okay. I mean, there's a couple of people in chat now just saying actually that they've got 113s everywhere now. So, Dennis, for a start, he's saying it, and then a couple of people are saying it as well. So, I don't know. Don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Not sure. It may calm down. I don't know. At the moment, it doesn't. It doesn't bode well in my area. I must admit, we've been struggling. In fact, we've been going out of sector to find the darn thing as well. So.
Hello, Uncle Mark.
Oh my word! Hello, Ren.
Hey, Ren.
How are we, buddy?
How are you?
Yes, I'm good. You sound like sort of storyteller.
See,
sounds like that movie guy that does all of the fronts to the movies.
The voiceovers, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bizarre.
Yes, indeed.
Quite spooky. Right, okay, let's move on to the Skyfire TLC. So the first thing I think to say is, obviously, please remember that it's obviously at level 50. So you've got to break that bubble, of getting out of the low levels if you want to go and take part in this in here. A couple of us had a little run through. I know Ren's done Price Pack 1 and Price Pack 2, I believe. Price Pack 1, he ran through and had a couple of issues. I think his armor on his icebreakers weren't quite to the level of mine. But Price Pack 2, I know he ran through with some, was it a Zalos and some Citadels or something, Ren, was it?
I actually did pack 2 with Tide Seeker tank and 3 Citadels and the Harlock Citadel. None of them have charged armor or anything like that. I goofed up in a target, so I actually had to spend 5 coins to put some repair on my Citadels. But it was a total goof up. I mean, I could have gone through without that. But it's totally doable. You know, like packs 1 and 2, totally doable with 4 Citadels and the Tide Seeker. If you have better, then better, right? It's going to be easier. If you have Empyreans and Zalos, it's going to be a walk in the park. The way it is, encounters 1, 2, 3 are actually better done with icebreakers. I did them 1, 2, 3. Even with my half-assed icebreakers, I could do packs encounters 1, 2, 3 for very little damage, like less than 10% damage to the fleet, I think. But then 4 and 5 and 6 are definitely not good for icebreakers. I mean, they really pack a punch. And unless you have some top-notch icebreaker build like yours, full of charged armors and the best of everything, I don't recommend.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's much better if you take Zalos and Empyreans or Monoliths and Zalos or Monoliths and Gridiron. Any combination of mortar, chuckers, and tank should be a walk in the park to get packs 1 and 2 done. Yeah,
I mean, so far what I've seen in Price Pack 1 and Price Pack 2, none of the encounters or anything new. It's all stuff that we've seen before in previous incarnations, isn't it? I've seen, I don't think we've seen any fresh targets. They've either been in the previous raid, or they've been in a previous TLC or a previous encounter of some description. So I haven't noticed anything new yet. Unless you've seen anything.
I mean, one of the targets is actually really old. It's the 109 from Forsaken Mission that has been here for over a year.
Yeah. One was 87, I think, in Price Pack 1 as well, because I just drove around it really, really quickly and that sort of stuff, and it didn't even cause any damage whatsoever at all. So that was quite good. But yeah, anyway, so as it says there, then, so as it says, use monoliths, icebreakers, citadels, so that proves a point, it can be done. To defeat the garrison targets, obviously, and earn. Obviously, it's nice that the UAV's there. It's a real shame you can't fit the UAV on a garrison ship, because I was going to try and play around and put it on the garrison UAV carrier, because of the range buff there. Would have been quite good fun to try that, but you can't. It's fixed.
That's the funny thing, though. I only think it's funny. I'm funny in a bad way. It's how Kixeye kept touting the Call to Arms campaign and saying, "Get the icebreaker. You need it to earn the Skyfire."
Yeah.
And then you really don't.
Well, I haven't done the third one yet, I must admit. PP3 is yeah, it's apparently it's not the easiest one to do, but then again, if you're going to get a raid equivalent to getting a left tier top prize hull with its weapon and with its special without having to do a raid, then maybe it should cost you a fleet or two. I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong answer.
It's optional, yeah.
It's not a must-do, though, because I think, maybe, well, we'll talk about the hull itself in a second, but I think the wording's a little bit incorrect. But yeah, anyway, so this is the other option for the glowing sea raid format and that sort of stuff. So we've had obviously the tech hull where it's the technical hull where you can go in and kite and that sort of stuff and do some really fancy driving, and this is the brute hull basically. So you can fill it up with UAVs and just blat through it, and you will take damage. There's absolutely no doubt about it. So you really have to consider your builds. It's the same as the icebreaker, because if you don't build it right, you will take an awful lot of damage. You'll think, that was a waste of money. So if you are the skill hole sort of player, then you may still want to go Phoenix, or a mixture of both, as I was talking to Rue earlier on before we came online. But that's something I'll be trialing myself. Right. So, okay, as it says, it's already sort of kicked off now. So it started at PST midday, and it ends usually on Wednesday, and then sort of goes just over the timeline, doesn't finish the 12th, but it finishes at midnight. So unusual timeline. I'm sure there's a reason for that. Probably sort of kicking in for the raid preparation or something like that, I should imagine. Now,
there's something off with the timer, at least when I engaged in Pack 1, because it was as soon as the TLC was enabled. Because it says it's going to be on for 7 days and 11 hours. But if it's from the 6th to the 12th, shouldn't it be 6 days? Am I missing something here?
Well, I think the original one, because I think they've moved everything one day to the right, and it was going to be updated yesterday, wasn't it? So everything, like, I mean, the other campaign said it was going to start on the 5th. So if it was starting on the 5th and then went through into the 12th, to the 12th, then that would sort of like make some sort of sense. But I think all the days are out a bit now. I'm not really sure what's
so I don't know if they fixed the timer then, because the timer is on the TLC screen. The timer says campaign will be available for 7 days and some hours there.
But that can't be right, because that'll kick into raid time.
Exactly. So I'm just.
So I don't think it will be 7 days. I think
the timer actually have an extra day that you don't.
I think they'll stop it, which is going to annoy a lot of people. So they'll have to do something about that pretty quick. But I do think it's a typo. And yeah, there's been a couple of typos lately, and maybe wording is a little bit different on some of these. But let's look forward at the blueprints quickly. So just quickly about Glowing Ski. So Glowing Ski is the name of the 3 raid format. It's not the name of this next raid. So just so you're aware, Glowing Seas is the raid triple. Just in case everyone wasn't aware of that. So that's the TLC, that's the prize pack. So prize pack 1, I say both of us have done it and that's the stuff, and I've seen a couple of videos as well. And so it's 6 hours long if you wish to take 6 hours. I can't imagine you probably would. It's 5, obviously, garrison targets, that sort of stuff, and nothing there that really should trouble anybody too much to at least get that UAV. Notice that it's a Hornet UAV, it's penetrative damage then, and it only fits on an assault ship. All right, because I did try putting it on a garrison and it won't do it. It's locked. Price pack 2, as you said then. So, and as Ren's just said then, you can actually do that then with a pretty low level fleet. So at least if you can't get, obviously, that UAV targeting circuitry, you can't get the 3rd one and get all those tokens, there are other specials you could use on this hull. No, they won't be as good. I get that. But ultimately, you know, if you've got your citadels and you have got at least one zealous built, you could get yourself a quite decent hull and a UAV, and maybe not this raid, but certainly for the one after, you'll be able to do some pretty good damage on some sort of like probably medium level targets. I wouldn't be surprised. So
yeah, my word of caution would still be people who get this ship, the Skyfire, get the UAV, don't get the special, and maybe they go with suboptimal specials, right? And then they also don't get charged armor, and they go with the regular D5CO, D5M armors.
Don't do it.
My concern is just like I either go with the charged armor, because if you're going to put the D5 level armors, the repair time per ship will be massive. Yeah, and you're going to end up with a fleet that's suboptimal, right? If you don't get all the equipment, and you're going to end up with a super high repair bill. So just like now me trying to do price pack 1 with the icebreakers, in the end I had 11 hours of repairs. That's not fun. And still something I think Kixeye needs to address on those ships is like this huge repair time. Because it honestly doesn't affect the elite players, like you know, Mark, yourself, your icebreakers all have charged armor, so they repair faster.
Yeah, I mean, I got the charged armor. I got the charged armors first, and then built the holes because there was no way I was going to build them without charge because the cost just wouldn't have done it.
But a slightly below average or an average player, if they get this ship and they go and put regular armor, and each plate adds 20-30 minute repair, in the end you're going to end up with a ship that takes nearly 4 hours to repair each ship in the fleet. So, you know, it may make for a very bad raid experience if every time your fleet dies after hitting a few targets, you hit 8 hours of repairs at raid time or 16 hours out of raid time.
It takes you back to Tideseeker moment, doesn't it? With a flag on Tideseekers, you know, because that was horrendous, wasn't it? So
yeah, oh, it still is.
Yeah, and I wasn't prepared to do that. So, you know, if I didn't get the charge armor, I wouldn't have built them. So I made sure I got it first. That was my first priority.
Yeah, and that's why I still think charged armor need to come down in price. I get it's a limited item, but I mean, at 12 million points or 10 million points, let's face it, I mean, it's not a luxury item anymore. And if it is, all it's doing is getting the cream of the crop of the players and make it easier for them, while everyone else in the mid-tier and lower tier who can get the ship but can't get charged armor, they all get slapped with massive repair times. And probably that's one of the things driving those players away from the game. That's why we see so many mid-level players quitting. It's because of this repair time.
Yeah, that void, isn't it? Yeah, as well, doesn't help. No, I agree. Right, let's have a look at the actual blueprints themselves then. And I'll just say quickly thanks to Andrew for the slides tonight. He did 99% of all the slides, and just I did the bit of OCD as I always do, because I've got OCD. But 99% of this is Andrew. So he cuts out all the shapes and does all the bits and bobs. And I still don't quite how he works out to cut out all the bits from the pictures and that sort of stuff, but I'm not bothered. He does it, and that's all that's good. So the first thing I noticed is this banded Hornet, okay, and compared to all the other UAVs, this thing is an absolute monster, because the wall and building damage at 1700 there is phenomenal compared to, when you look at all the other ones, this thing is huge, the firepower that it's got in comparison. And it's interesting, resonance trigger, it says yes in the special abilities, what I thought was quite an unusual thing to put on a UAV.
Oh, it's because of the fire field, right? There's a 5% chance of a fire field. If that fire field drops, it burns an area there for 4 seconds, and during those 4 seconds, that fire field, it triggers resonance.
Now, isn't this the first time we've seen it on a weapon, though?
No, I mean, there's other weapons that can do fire fields.
No, I meant resonance trigger, yes.
Oh,
I've seen it on
oh, I see what you mean. I don't know.
Could you mix this with other things then? Because if it triggers resonance, it's a yes. Or does it have to be on the whole to get other things to work? I don't know.
No, it means if the enemy you're hitting has resonance capacitor or battery, as they sail through the fire field, they get bonuses.
So this is that thing again where they're doing the let's not do power creep too much, because I was going to think about them putting this on the Draconian, obviously, UAV hull, and then basically go and look at messing around with that and refitting and sticking it on, because obviously 10% boost, and seeing if I could get to the FM. I thought it'd be quite funny. I don't know, but obviously I can't now because it's locked to assault class. So, and there's nothing else that's worthwhile sticking it on, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not a big, huge UAV fan, but I really like the artwork on this one.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't have all that red stuff around the outside because obviously Andrew's done that. But yeah, the artwork's still very good.
I think the community manager there had an influence on that design, because if you look at the tail, it reminds me of a rooster tail.
Yep.
Yeah, it does actually.
Kind of like bird eagle, yeah.
Yeah. It's flowing, isn't it? I like it. It's good. And they've gone back to a very sort of like comic-y graphic, haven't they, as opposed to those hard lines, sort of like, Garrison type ones. So, but yeah, reload time 4, which is good. The damage instant.
Somebody put Pac-Man on the left cannon.
Yeah, you're probably right. Actually, it looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, it is Pac-Man on the end of the left cannon. Yeah. Yeah, reload time 4, damage 850 straight away. Great range there. Obviously, there's I don't know. I don't think there's any boost on the actual hull itself, but I'll have a quick look at the blueprint for that in a second. What was there to say? It's got a huge amount of power in comparison to all the other UAVs. So I think the next one is there's an explosive one, but it doesn't pack the wall damage either that this one does. Not that we've got any walls to worry about, but yeah, I like it. It's good. The best thing about it is notice that this thing here, the reload, swarm duration, that sort of stuff. This linked in nicely with something that's built into the hull is also very good, which we'll come on to now. So I'm not sure if that type's a little bit small, but special abilities is the first important thing there, I think. You've got stun resistance at 10%, which is great, and projectile speed of 5%. The good thing about these UAVs, and I have seen them, is they actually hit the target you're aiming at. So just bear that in mind, all right? Which has been quite a bit of a letdown on many of the UAVs, particularly in the base defense concept. Because the UAVs have tended to miss the ships. Would you agree on that, Ren, so far? They've actually hit what you've aimed at?
I don't know. I haven't seen it working.
Oh, have you? Oh, okay then.
No.
All right. But I've noted that basically this is a good hull, and it's going to be interesting, definitely for a start. As it says then that the DPS is 10k, which is considerable. Anti-missile accuracy is already built in as well, and building damage already 110%, so that's good. UAV damage are plus 60% on top of that, and chaining, built-in chaining of 70. I'm pretty impressed with that. That's good.
The chaining range of 70 is very good, because that means those drones, it's actually going to be able to hop from drone to drone. And remember, UAVs, they completely ignore evade, so it should probably do short work of those drones.
Yeah, the good thing is that some of those turrets are also spaced out, aren't they, as well? So that should help you hop from one to the other as well. So it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, I must admit. Splash, a massive amount of splash. This thing is kicking out as well. So yeah, but I think the overload effect. What did we say about the overload? Every 3,000, wasn't it? So that was right. They rechecked the blueprint. It is every 3,000, which is quite a lot, really, to be honest. I can't remember the armor slots.
Here's what I don't understand: the overload effect, right?
Yeah.
Look at the overload effect. It says damage type penetrating, but it doesn't mention any damage.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, but the thing is, when it goes into overload, it does extra penetrative damage, doesn't it?
Where?
But it also does a stun. Doesn't it do? Hang on a minute. 3,000 armor points. Berserk duration 10 stuff. Oh, I see your point actually, because it stuns the building and it stuns everything and buildings in for 5 seconds, so that will stop drones dead and that sort of stuff. Projectile speed goes up by 100%. Maybe that's why it kills things so quickly, because they get the projectile speed up.
I'm just assuming here, okay, that there's going to be some sort of boom effect coming off of the ship with a range of 200, so everything around the ship will suffer from that boom. It has a range of 200, it has a splash of 115, or is it going to be a fireball flying from the ship into the enemies? I mean, I really don't know. But the fact is, like, there's a splash, there's a range, there's a damage type, but it doesn't state the damage.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, it looks like it's missing a line.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, it's interesting that. Corrosive defense, boost. Yeah, nah. So the other thing, it looks like it goes boom and it stuns things for 5 seconds.
Either goes boom or, like I said, it's a fireball. I don't know.
That's a good point. I've never seen it in action yet, so I'm not really guessing too much. But yeah, it's like there's a line missing, isn't there? There's not even a 20% boost in potential damage or something. It's what you'd expect,
Yeah, no, there's nothing there. I mean, other than the stun. The stun's obvious, but other than stunning targets around you, what else?
Yeah, it doesn't boost any defenses either, does it? So
no.
Just looking
and then I mean, there's a combat speed bonus. There's a projectile speed bonus, meaning the UAV
to get out of the way.
flies faster.
So that'll fly faster, which means you can also run away quicker and that sort of stuff, because it does that stun. So that's a stun 5 seconds, a bit like what the Ghost Caller does.
And resets reload. I mean, it's the first time I think I see that property in the stat block. So no matter
it does.
where they all reset reload to fire.
Yeah, no matter where they are, then they reset. Yeah, so that's quite decent.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be interesting. All right. Well, anyway, that's the Skyfire carrier and that sort of stuff. Now, the thing that so let's go back to the start of it. So a Reaver Assault class hull that basically spits out UAVs, chaining system. Okay, and periodically the hull will berserk. Okay, stunning all enemy units within the range while increasing the combat speed of each Skyfire for a short duration. Additionally, this hull will provide bonus defenses for each Skyfire in the fleets, and that's obviously in the special abilities, because obviously then duplicate aura ×5, and then corrosive defense and penetrative defense is in there, and that sort of stuff, and projectile speed. So that's fine. Now, the only thing that's really slightly frustrating me, and I know Ren and I were talking about this earlier on via text, is Doom's description of this is like the go-to hull for the raid, and I don't necessarily believe it is. I still don't think it is, and partly because of what Ren was saying earlier on. If you haven't got all the charged armors, then this definitely isn't the go-to hull for you. And if you have got the charged armors,
defenses are low. The defenses are 35%. I mean, you put RA3 and it goes up, and it's going to be decent. But corrosive, the only way. Oh, sorry. By the way, is there any buff from the UAV? Do you get any corrosive defense from the UAV?
Let's go back. Hang on. Here we go.
I don't think you do.
No, we'll look at the special in a second. We haven't done that.
No, I don't see
nothing there at all. No, nothing at all.
So you don't get anything. So let's go back to the hull now.
Yeah. Okay.
The base number is 30%. So the only way you can bring that up is by loading up on armor.
And that armor is pretty heavy. Does 80% buff?
If you're gonna get the D5 CO, not only it's heavy, and you can equip 4 of them. Each one of them adds 30 minutes, assuming no R&D and no officer, 30 minutes. So you put out 4, it's 5 hours of repairs per ship.
Ouch.
Ouch. That's a great description. Ouch.
Yeah, ouch is exactly, sums it up to me. So this isn't to me, and I think this may be one of the better auto hulls in the game for raiding at the moment, based comparing it with things like ironclads and that sort of stuff, which really were quite a letdown. So I do expect this thing to do quite well. The fact that it can stun those drones, and we've seen them at the, we've been looking at the 100S, haven't we, and that sort of stuff over the last couple of days because it's been out, with those nav relays. Now, if you can stun those goddamn drones, which means they're not going to come towards you, then you stand a much better chance to obviously go and prep all those drones out and maybe come back in with a set of Apollos or something, I don't know, or another fleet. So you could use...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking you could use this if you're in a position where you're quite hyping your alliance. This could become a very good prep fleet for other people.
Yeah, no, I mean, against the drones, it's certainly actually probably better than the Phoenix because it can stun the drones and it's going to ignore their accuracy and it's going to chain from one to the other. So that's all great, right? That's all great.
Okay.
I'm mostly concerned how it's going to do, in terms of how many points you're going to be able to score before the fleet needs to be docked for repairs. I mean, if you can score a good amount of points, 10 million points, I don't know how many points, whatever, then fleet's dead, maybe that's okay, right? Even though it's going to be 10 hours of repairs at raid time for 4 ships, right? But it all depends on how long you're going to, how many million points you can score.
Do you know what would be really nice to have done? What would have been nice to have done if you could just jump back into here, and if in the price pack 3, if they had put in 1 charge armor there, just 1, that would have made a hell of a difference. Even if they made it limited hull, so you'd have to go in and get it freaking 5 times and that sort of stuff, made it a little bit easier. You could have got 1 charge armor from each one. It would have made things a little bit easier for people.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, if they could put a CO armor in there and let you run it 5 times.
Let you run it 5 times, yeah. I think probably people would have maybe, persevered with that a little bit more. I don't know. I'm not giving ideas, but I'm just, well, I am sort of giving ideas, but I don't think that's the avenue to go down in future because
now the one
more.
thing we're ignoring, is the special ability, right? I mean, look at the corrosive defense in there. I just saw that, by the way. I forgot. You get a 14% corrosive defense per aura. So when you stack 4 ships, it actually goes up nicely.
Yes, it would do. Yeah, multiplicative, isn't it? It's not additive, is it? It's
so it's 30% base, then 14% of 70%, which is about 10 thereabouts. So it goes to 40, then it goes to 49, then it goes to 58, then it goes to probably 65, 67%. Just stacking 4 ships.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Well, we'll move on and have a quick look at the special quickly. There we go. So that's the UAV, the targeting circuitry, basically. It's a very unusual. It reminds me of sort of like the Day of the Triffids, that thing. It's a bit weird. I don't know why. Or doesn't it you? It just reminds me of some sort of like Triffid type thing, if you've ever watched the Day of the Triffids, that is. But do you know what I like about this is the fact that obviously the UAV damage is, again, 8% plus, projectile speed is another 50% on top of that, and the chaining range is another 50 again. I love this special.
Here's my question. Cool. And I don't understand that. I mean, usually when you gain something, like chain count is +2. So it's whatever is in the hull +2.
Yeah.
But chaining range, it's like turret resistance. There's no plus.
Oh, I see what you mean. So is it just adding? Is it 70 plus 50?
It's not.
How does it work then?
Or is it?
I don't know. You tell me. Well, have a look at me because I've got a couple of builds.
The chain count in the hull, I think it's 2 or 3 or 1. I don't remember.
So that's what that's bouncing from location to location, isn't it? So it could bounce from one to the next, and if it's only chain count.
I know. But is the chaining range adding up, or is it going to pick up the highest value?
Well, if the chaining range is only 70, a good point. If the chaining range, so it could be 120, couldn't it? I mean, that's a long way.
But there's no plus. It's not +50.
Well, we'll have a look, shall we? So there you go. There's a UAV targeting circuitry piece, okay, which does look like a Triffid to me. But yeah, weapon weight isn't too bad for what it is, considering, because you can put an awful lot of UAVs on that. And there we go. There's a couple of random sort of things that I've just quickly gone in the game, because obviously it's available now, because since the update you can have a look at it. But I don't think, chaining range 120, look.
Yeah, 120. So it does add up. So the display should actually have a +15 there.
Should be a +50 on it, yeah.
because their excuse for turret defense not stacking is that there's no plus.
Yes, you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
So in this case, there's no plus, so it shouldn't stack, but it stacks, so it should have a plus. Just it's the kind of small things that just helps make people confused, and helps with the bad reputation Battle Pirates has of being an overly complicated game sometimes.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I had a third build, which was actually done by my brother and that sort of stuff, and he came out at 11 days and 2 hours. But then that was because the bottom two on the left-hand one there, which is obviously Charge Armor M, he put 2 D1Ms on there, and that took it down considerably to 11 days something. But I still don't know whether that's the right way to go. I'm not
honestly. You could just. I think your brother at D1M is bang on.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh yeah, because look at that. You're already at 92%, right?
Hmm.
So even if you take that down a little bit, but remember each aura is going to add 14%.
Yeah, I mean, these are just two examples just for build time. So the worst case scenario there with everything that's charged, and that's 2 Ms and obviously two of the COs and that sort of stuff, you know, at 15 days, it's a little bit steep, isn't it? But 11 days is reasonable. And you know, if you are going to blitz and run around these things, you might be able to get in quite quickly and get back out and let all the chaining do the stuff for those missile turrets. Now the question yeah, someone's just picked up in chat. I don't know. Okay. And I've put it on, but I don't know if it works. So maybe, Ren, you can tell me, because in the penetrative damage plus 60%, now it's on both of those two specials. So it's on the carbon fiber casing, okay, and it's also on obviously the, what's the one there that gives the radiation and penetrative boost as well, plus the speed on the opposite, on the right hand one. I've forgotten what that's called.
Interception.
Do you get that? Yeah, sorry, yeah. Do you get that boost on a UAV?
No,
you don't. So it's a waste of time, that special.
The rule of thumb, and unless this one breaks, I mean, I don't always follow Kixeye, and they don't always follow their own rules. But if they follow their own rules, weapon specials, in other words, any special affecting weapons, reload, damage, accuracy, does not impact UAVs.
Okay, because I was wondering, just looking back at
only UAV specials can impact.
Where that says damage 850. I was hoping it might boost that, but obviously if that's not the case, then that gives us another one to put on some extra evade or something else. Now, the thing is, with the new special, you can't add any other chaining effect or any boost to any other UAVs. It doesn't work. It locks all the other ones out, because I've tried that as well. So that then gives you either, you know, an upgrade to evade or an upgrade to speed, or you could actually then change the... If you can't do that, you could probably change the speed system 5 and then go for mag 2 again, and then put obviously thruster 3 on, which would also up your evade as well.
Yeah.
So you make them a lot faster.
And again, what I'm saying here is not tested. Okay, it's just based on.
Oh, this is pure guess, speculation. Yeah.
No, it's just like in the past it worked like that. In the past, you put a special that increased penetrative damage on a UAV carrier. In the past, it would not buff the damage of the UAVs.
So this is purely speculation, but I just want to show the build times roughly. So there's a 15, there's a 14, or a 15 and a half day, there's a 14-day build and that sort of stuff. I don't really suggest maybe using stun on these. They've got built-in stuns. I don't think you need more anti-stun, to be honest. So maybe change that for something else instead. Maybe the other one that should have gone there was actually the one that produces corrosive protection instead of the stun. But they build the same time and they're the same weight, so it doesn't really matter. And like I said, the one on the left-hand side there, if you put 2 D1Ms on, then that's what my brother went with, and it's 11 days, I think, right, 7 or 12 hours or something like that. Something
yeah, because I'm thinking the targets we saw, they don't do much penetrating damage. It was mostly
there's only three turrets, isn't there? There's 3 or 4 turrets in the whole target on the 100 we've been seeing anyway.
Yeah, and that's the top-notch target, the hardest one, right? So that was what we saw in the preview on the Reaver Nav relays.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's just popped in chat and just said he's added a switchblade as well, just to keep Liam happy. Yeah, just in case he wants to do some sort of, like, you know, because obviously it might take down one of the. Did anybody notice any of the actual phalanxes taking down anything in those hundreds on the nav relays?
I would probably put a Gale 2 or a Gale 3 on those ships.
You could put that. Yeah, you could put obviously countermeasure load or something like that on, couldn't you, as well? Because of the,
no, I'm just saying a Gale, because the flanks or the other. I mean, they only fire once at each incoming enemy projectile, right? and the Gales fire multiple times, and the Gales can shoot down UAVs.
Yeah, true.
Right? I mean, if you get in range of the pancakes firing UAVs at you, having a Gale can actually be useful.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I must say those pancakes are, yeah. So the range of this is a little bit less, isn't it? So, well, it's 98. It's not bad, is it?
98.
98 is still reasonable. What's the total range on the Phoenix? It's at 98.8, 99 basically, isn't it? So it's almost about the same, isn't it?
Don't remember.
I don't know if they can quickly log in game and if they can remember what the build time is on the UAV. I'm not really sure what it is off the top of my head.
I can tell you the
if you could,
UAV,
that'd be great.
a new one is.
I'm not really sure what it is off the top of my head.
Banded Hornet. Oh crap! It's 4:13 with one on. 4:13, 40 minutes, and 4:05 for the hull itself.
So
about
5,
8, 9
10,
hours.
8.5 hours, something like that.
Yeah, about that. I have
8.5
no
hours.
officers or anything, so yeah.
All right, you've got no officers running, so it'll be under 8 hours then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 64. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's still quite long. That's where. Yeah, again, it's the weapons then on these holes that are actually knocking them up, aren't they? So, as it was with the Phoenix as well. So
now I have a question for you guys, and I have my answer, but I'd like to hear yours.
Okay, you've answered your own question before you started. Go on, mate. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's just a matter of opinion, I guess. If you finish that TLC, would you rather spend your tokens finishing one hull, and you'd have one hull for the raid because it's 12 days of tokens, right?
I would do
or
one. I would do one.
Would you build 4 naked hulls for the XP weekend and then be ready for next month?
That's a good point. Now that's teasing, isn't it? If I could go in with a single hull and clear all the drones, the bugs, sorry, not drones, but all the bugs, then I would just be happy just having one hull anyway. If they can kill the bugs, if the one ship with all those UAVs can kill those poxy drones, I'd be quite happy to go back in and use Apollos or whatever else it is, or even some Phoenixes. I've got 3 of those built, or I will have. And then plug away, because we know it's those flipping bugs that do the damage. If they catch up with you, you had it. You know, those are the things that keep recharging every time. You know, we know the fact that the Malice can't get to you because its range isn't as good as your range, and actually it's pretty weak and that sort of stuff. So, but then again, yeah, if you want to go down and have twin fleets, because look what's just happened with the icebreakers. Oh yeah, they need them and that sort of stuff, because you got to be able to do this, that, and that. So if in some godforsaken moment of madness, Kickside decide that you need to have this hull and the Phoenix hull later on in the game, you'd be kicking yourself not for getting all 4 and building them for free, basically. And then, like you say, having them ready for the VXP weekend, already built, and all you got to do is rank them, and then whatever you get in the raid, you can also then build that using the raid tokens.
Okay, Robin?
So it's a catch-22. Catch-22. Robin, thoughts?
I don't know.
Difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is. But you know, we face that with everything. And somebody just posted in chat, and that's why I was laughing when you pinged me, was that I have so many naked hulls that I haven't finished. So
got so much naked hulls.
Yep,
almost like Playboy Mansion.
I'm telling you, man, they're all naked. I'd probably build one. I like what you were saying with going in and prepping. You know, if they do go in and kill those the drone things, then I think that would work better. But I don't know.
So I have a question for you two then.
Will the target, by the way,
will the target have a retreat button so you can prepare?
Has it so far?
Sorry, it has or has not?
No, has it so far? I don't know. I've not even hit one yet.
No, I mean the targets we saw on those Reaver nav relays did not have a retreat button.
So if you could go in though and just trigger those little tiny drone things, and then sit in the corner and just let it time out, then it's not your problem. Yeah, but I mean, if you've got Phoenixes, you're just building one for free, then just let it time out. You can crack on with another target while your person you're prepping for is is waiting for that to time out, or is killing another target, sort of stuff. You know, I'm only thinking it from an alliance leader point of view, where actually I can help out low levels in my alliance, and if I've done all my points, I can help people out in the sector as well. I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, they took that out with the Reaver, the other Reaver raid, and that did not go over well at all. In fact, that was one of the very big complaint items, and so they put it back in for the siege and for the garrison. So I'm
even the
very
Reaver targets,
hopeful.
they became uranium targets on map. Now they have a retreat button.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
So
they did
Renton,
for the siege and the garrison, they put the retreat buttons back in for the raid. So I'm hopeful that they're going to have the same retreat button in.
Oh, I hope so. It sucks when they don't have a retreat.
I hate sitting on the fence, but I would say if it was a capability where one ship can do what I wanted it to do, then I'll be less greedy for myself, and I'll help out other people, and I'll go for the build one complete, and then whack out all those drones and just let it sit there and time out while I'm doing something for myself, so I can do two things at once. But if that's not the case,
you're speaking from the point of view of a high level player.
Oh yeah. But that's where I have to. You know, there's different.
Now,
people
if you're a guy
things.
without Phoenixes, you don't have Phoenixes. Your best fleet are some old Apollos or something like that.
It's a no-brainer, then, isn't it? It's a no-brainer.
Then would you build one for this raid, or would you have 4 naked hulls for VXP?
Well, I'll tell you what, the man that we need to ask the question is just turned up. Hey, Brian.
Yes, Brian, answer the question.
If you get it wrong, you're in trouble.
Yeah. What's the answer, Brian? He hasn't got his mic ready yet. He's like that. Thanks very much, guys. You just throw me right in the deep end straight away.
Probably going to drop.
Oh, he might not be working, actually, yeah. Yeah, he is. His mic wasn't working. Yeah, he had mic problems.
I guess we shell shocked him.
Yeah, no, I get.
Because I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking right now, because I'm gonna have the Phoenix fleet ready for raid. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna get 4 of these guys naked with tokens and ready for VXP weekend.
I think so.
Or even one to lead with the Phoenix.
That's another idea. I mean,
leave the other ships in the corner, bring this in, kill the drones, and then bring the other ships in and do the rest of it.
That is a good idea, actually.
Yeah. You got comms there, Brian? No, he's got no mic still.
Yeah. So use the Skyfire kind of like a flag.
Yeah. That's an idea as well. Imagine that. Yeah, imagine if you had one. Do you know what? That's an idea. What about having one Skyfire? Go in there, drop the drones, then nip back in with the Phoenixes and use the old favorite macro.
Just remember, one Skyfire is going to have sort of weak resistances, right? I mean, sort of.
Yeah, no, it will. Yeah.
Yeah, but if there's no retreat button, then that would be
imagine,
the best of both.
Can you imagine if you can get it to run almost the same speed as your Phoenixes? It won't quite, but you can get it close, and you can nip that one slightly ahead and go in and get those drones, because they're the ones that because the Malices hide out the way, don't they? The drones come at you. The Skyfire zaps that, then the Malice comes towards you, and your Phoenixes kill the Malice. And then part that drone thing out, part that thing out the way, the Skyfire out the way, and then crack on, kill the rest of the turret, the rest of the target with the Phoenixes.
Yeah,
could be.
It's technical playing, I know that.
Here's another scenario. I mean, people who are not building Phoenixes. I mean, I am, and I'm going to spend my FM tokens to finish my fleet. But people who aren't, they can use, if they are caught up on FM, they can use 10 to 14 days of tokens, depending on their luck, plus the 12 from this TLC, and actually have 2 ships.
Yeah, I mean that fancy macro is quite straightforward one. It's the one ship is on the #1 button, and the other macro is just ships 2 to 5. So it's an easy macro to create. It takes seconds.
Okay.
In fact, it's on our page.
Thanks,
Anyway, right. Okay, so there you go. That's the thoughts. Right, Rue, do you want to do this one?
Oh, you mean I got to read?
Yeah, because the guys like your voice.
Where's Stu when we need him?
That bitch is doing stuff. I don't know.
Okay. Bug fixes and tunings this week. They fixed an issue where targets would incorrectly reap from the world map after combat. I know there was some issues with some of those on the 100s. I'm not sure if that also applied to FM targets as well. Second one,
the Reaver targets were reaping before we finished them.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there were some people that were very frustrated about that who were taking 2 or 3 fleets to get in and finish them. Second item, finished an issue where the countdown timer for the Hunger campaign would fail to display. That's pretty straightforward. Resized the Phoenix hull to be a bit bigger on the world map. I guess
dinky.
it was feeling a little bit underloved.
Somebody thinks size matters.
Yeah. Fixed an issue. Excuse me. Fixed an issue where ships were being reshrouded in the level 113 FM target, and there were a lot of people that were having issues with that, where they killed the fleets, came back in, and then all of a sudden they were clouded, and the target was dead, so there was nothing for the shrouded ship to target off of, and so it was kind of like game over.
Yeah, agree.
Next one, fixed an issue where countermeasures were firing too late at enemy projectiles. That's always a good thing to have fixed.
Even though I didn't know the problem existed.
No, not at all.
You know, I noticed in one of the I can't remember which one I was in, but I thought it was just me being laggy, but it was like really, really slow to where the whatever it was that was hitting me was practically in my front door before my countermeasures actually fired out. And then the last one, fixed an issue where the remote targeting ring would fail to display for dual weapons, which was also...
That keeps bugging, doesn't it? That's bugged before as well. So that's happened previously, and now it's come back again, obviously. So they fixed that yet again. So
yeah, and I don't know if that actually affects, and it may do with the Harlocks, if that affects the Citadels, because people were running around naked without retargeting rings for a couple of days there as well, to where the yellow retargeting ring wasn't showing at all. So I'm hopeful that that fix also takes care of that as well.
Cool. Okay. Right. That's all the. That's everything for the slides for tonight. So I don't know what else. If you want to talk to anything, I mean, it's quite quick tonight, wasn't it? It wasn't a huge amount, was it? So, but
yeah, just I have one page thing, if we could. When you're posting, if you could not use the backgrounds, people are starting to use those, and it just makes a huge chunk of space that gets taken away from other posts. So while you're posting, if you could think to remove that option, if you can, that would really help out. Yeah,
that would, because it is slightly annoying. The page gets rather full.
6 inches of really brightly covered box and 4 lines, 4 words in it.
Oh dear, it was funny. Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's one of those ads they put in. I don't know if it's done for the apps for mobile phones or what it's so the whole screen's just a background color. It seems that sort of size and dimension, but obviously on a Facebook page, you've got to do a hell of a lot of scrolling. If you get a few of those on your page, it's really annoying. So, you know, we can only try and get a few people to agree, but a lot of people go, "Oh, that's nice. I'll use that color," because, you know, hey, it's just one of those things. But try not to, if you wouldn't mind, please. It'd be really, really appreciated. Anything else? Ren, anything from you, mate?
No, just, you know, I instantly built those 4 icebreakers and really didn't see the need for them in this TLC, which in a way is a good thing. In another way is just like, then why? Why say we would need them to do the TLC? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, mate.
Yeah. And I'd say for people who got the Phoenix and are building the Phoenix, stay on track. Don't get distracted by the Skyfire right now.
No, I don't.
People who only have Apollos might really want to take a hard, good look at the Skyfire and get it going, right? I mean, if you get a fleet of Skyfire going and it performs well, then you don't really need to worry about winning the Phoenix and the overall combo for the Phoenix and the raid, so you can focus on the other stuff.
I just like the fact that there's a potential now for somebody that's a level 40 or sorry, level 50, 50, 60, whatever it is, that does have at least one Zealous built. And then now he can go and get himself a pretty decent assault hull. You know,
yeah,
and I wouldn't
even, if he gets it,
loads better than, you know, I think it potentially is better than going to be than an Apollo in some respects. I don't know. We'll see. Clearly won't have the special, and probably won't have any UAV extenders or of any description, but interesting hull. Right. Okay. I have nothing else to cover unless you want to say anything. Weekend will be weekend as per normal. There's not going to be a great deal going on apart from people doing TLCs, that stuff. We'll have the normal show on. Brian keeps jumping in and jumping out and crazy about his microphone. We'll have to try and sort that out later in the week. It's clearly not working tonight. I don't know where George is tonight. It's Thursday though, so he's probably doing stuff. But I'm sure he'll be obviously either on the weekend or he'll be on with Hefe and that sort of stuff as he normally is on Friday night. So listen out for that as well. He's bound to write an article once the Skyfire. Now the Skyfire's out, so keep an eye on his page as well. And just so you're aware, Andrew has already updated the page, and on that page obviously is this TLC as well now. So videos are already going to start to be collected and collated and put onto the Second Cancer website. So just have a quick look there before you want to have any ideas about having any of those price pack 1s, 2s, or 3s before you actually commit your fleet into it. Although there is a retreat button in this one, so that's quite decent. Any last chance, Brian? Go on, we'll give you one more go, mate. No. Silence. Never happens to Studio, does it, when he comes on? Right, that's it. As far as I'm concerned, we're done. We'll finish there. It is late in the week and that sort of stuff. So I'll just say have a good weekend, and those that are available to come on Saturday night, then please do so, and pick a topic, and we'll discuss it. Okay, good. Thanks very much. Take care. Good night.
Thanks all.
Counting down for the next raid. Yay! Yay.